Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Rogers Center. This is the final game between the Boston Red Sox and the Blue Jays this season. Bobby Valentine's team has won the first two games of this series, and they have both scored in the ninth inning to win each of those ball games. The Red Sox 66-80 this season. Scott Podsednik is starting in left field. Dustin Pedroia. His career numbers against Brandon Morrow are impressive. 9 for 17, and he's hit them hard. 4 doubles, 2 homers. He's driven in 5. Jacoby Ellsbury behind Pedroia also has big numbers against Brandon Morrow. Cody Ross is the cleanup batter. Loney Saltalamacchia and Lavarnway. Lavarnway is the catcher. Pedro Siriaco's done a nice job. He got the big hit in yesterday's game to win it for Boston.
5th start for Brandon Morrow since his injury, and his first start this year versus the Red Sox. This has been tough against the Red Sox in his career. They have really hit him hard, but this is a different Morrow and a different Red Sox type of team. His last start, he gave up the most runs in a game since May the 25th when he gave up 6 at Texas. He's going to try and build on that just a little bit. He just didn't have the power in his fastball his last time out against the Mariners. Didn't get out of the 5th inning and allowed a career-high 11 hits. He'll try to turn things around this afternoon, and he is set to take on Scott Podsednik. Podsednik, the leadoff batter here today. His first pitch outside. Podsednik making his first start of the series. Done a nice job for the Red Sox. 309 average. He's one of those guys that just continues to impress. He's playing now in his 51st game with the Red Sox. It was a good acquisition. He was with them. He left for a while. He came back. And when they had all the problems, the injuries to their outfielders, there's a veteran that can come off the bench and help you out. Brett Glory positioned perfectly. 1 down. Take a look at the defense behind the Blue Jays. A little different look in the outfield. Anthony Gose is back in left field this afternoon. It is Gose, Rasmus, and Sierra in the outfield, left to right. Adani Echeverria at shortstop. Omar Vizquel at second. Laurie and Lind at the corner. J.P. Arancibia is back behind the plate. There was a change right before we came on the air. Adani Echeverria was the original second baseman today. Yuna Escobar scratched. Omar Vizquel gets his last shot at the Red Sox, his first since that game-winning sacrifice fly at Fenway Park. In his last game at Fenway Park, he drove in the winning run, had a pair of sac flies, and the difference maker. That's Pedroia with the ball on the strike. We mentioned Pedroia's great numbers against Morrow. Morrow is making his first start of the season against Boston. The Red Sox 5th in the American League in batting average at .266 for the team average, and Pedroia chases that high fastball. A little bit better fastball right there from Morrow than what we saw in his last start. Certainly has the power and the production. Pedroia over his last 20 games, a .390 average. 1-2. Good pitch down and away. Nice catch by a fan. You talk about having him played perfectly. That's why you bring your ball glove to the field, to make catches like that. You can give the ball away then. So Pedroia is behind 1-2. Well, it didn't miss by much. And hard breaking ball, little cutter off the outside edge. And J.P. Arancibia almost brought that back. Did a good job of framing that one up. Tried to sell it to the umpire. Pedroia's hit .373 since the 5th of August. And if you didn't know anything about Dustin Pedroia, that tells you everything you need to know, given the struggles of the team this year. He hasn't let it affect him one bit. He's a former Rookie of the Year, former MVP. And he plays the game right day in and day out. Yeah, he's the kind of guy also when things are all burning up around him. He has the ability to focus in and take his game to the next level. The numbers certainly show that for Pedroia. Popped up over behind the Blue Jays dugout.
Yeah, you give me 15 Dustin Pedroias and I'll take on anybody in the world. I don't care if he's 5'8" or not. He will do anything he can to beat you. He's had to prove himself no matter where he's been, in high school, in college, in the pros, even up here with the Red Sox when he first came up.
And he does it day in and day out. Doesn't matter who or where you're playing.
There's a line drive base hit, and Pedroia continues to wear out Brandon Morrow.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Brandon Morrow, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's got the fastball, the slider. Those are his main pitches right there. He'll split his fingers and use that as a changeup. A little bit of a curveball. What you need to watch for today, can he ramp it back up there? Can he get up into the 95-mile-per-hour range when he has to? He didn't have that power last time. He had to revert to changeups, and he felt like those were the pitches that helped him get as far as they did in his last start against the Mariners.
Jacoby Ellsbury takes one downstairs. The Red Sox center fielder is hit second, first, and third in the 3 games in this series. We mentioned his numbers. He is 8 for 16 against Brandon Morrow with 3 career home runs.
You got to bunch those hot hitters together in front of some RBI men to try and score runs.
Ball squirts away from Arancibia, but not far enough for Pedroia to advance. Ellsbury, like Pedroia, finishing up strong. Ellsbury missed a big chunk of the season with a shoulder injury. Last 21 games, he's at 300. Just 2 for 8 in this series.
Yeah, but he has hit the ball hard. He has had a couple of hits taken away from him. Blue Jays have played him defensively quite nice. They've also positioned themselves. He's hit a couple of balls right on the nose that have been caught by the fielders because they were standing in the right place.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. We mentioned the Red Sox have taken the first 2 games of this series. Blue Jays would love to salvage the final game. Toronto's won the season series. (3-1). Pedroia at first, not running. There's the walk. So Pedroia and Ellsbury continue to create problems for Brandon Morrow. Cody Ross, the cleanup batter. John Farrell knows exactly what Ellsbury and Pedroia are capable of doing, having been the pitching coach for Boston for 4 years. So now Cody Ross had a home run in yesterday's game against Carlos Villanueva in his first at bat. Finished the day 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Getting his first look at Brandon Morrow. We mentioned Morrow did not start against the Red Sox this season until this afternoon. There's a good fastball in there.
I think that's been the difference between Morrow, the pitcher this year, and Morrow, the thrower in the past. His ability to get right back in there. There are his numbers in his career versus the Boston Red Sox. 15 appearances, 7 starts, and a 1-3 record.
Bounces right back. He really knows his delivery now. He and Bruce Walton worked so hard to refine the mechanical aspects of his delivery that he can make adjustments on the mound and get himself right back into that strike zone.
Yeah, just a little bit tick off, and the ball will come out of his hand a little bit differently. And I think that's just about experience, going out there, doing it, getting more time under your belt.
This is his 89th career start. So not quite 3 full seasons as a starter. He's coming into this game with less than 100 innings under his belt for the season because of that oblique injury.
Yeah, he's had some injuries the last couple of years that have kept him from pitching full seasons.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Cody Ross. Brandon Morrow's career record stands at 37 and 36. Started out in the Mariners bullpen. He threw so hard they made a quick decision to put him in the bullpen, and then when they decided that he wasn't going to be some long-term piece for them, they moved him to Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays immediately made him a starter.
Good pitch.
Strike 3 call. That fastball on the outside corner gets Cody Ross.
Been the pitch that's been a good one for him. You have to respect the fastball because he's got a lot of zip on it, but when you throw it right there, Ross was looking for an off-speed pitch, and he paints that outside corner. You think that he's going to go to that breaking ball with 2 strikes, but he's been able to use his fastball in those situations very effectively.
James Loney, the first baseman. His numbers combined with the Dodgers and the Red Sox, he's hit .256 for the season. He's 2 for 8 in this series against the Blue Jays. Throws the first pitch strike.
You know, you were talking about him in the bullpen. We've talked about that with young pitchers transitioning to the big leagues in the bullpen, and that's really a good way to go. The problem with the Mariners was he was in the bullpen, then he was starting. He was back in the bullpen, then he was a closer, then he was starting again. I think the Blue Jays did the right thing when they traded for him and said, you are starting, and he has learned to become a good starter.
And he has taken his lumps as a starter. There's no question about that. I mean, Boston outing at Fenway Park a couple of years ago when he couldn't get out of the second inning, he walked 6, and that was the bottom of the barrel. I mean, it was such a dejected image. You see Morrow walking off the field there at Fenway Park, not really having an answer for anything. And then he continued to work hard, and now he's become one of the real interesting starters in all of baseball. Loney stays alive.
You know, if you've ever played this game, you're still going to have clunkers even when you find yourself. He had one this year where it was just 2/3 of an inning at Texas. It ended up giving up 6 earned runs. So there's been the peaks and the valleys already this year, but consistency, I think you can start throwing that into his game this season.
Down and in with the breaking ball. Always concerned about Brandon Morrow and his pitch count, and he's already had an elevated pitch count here in the first inning. Pedroia worked him over and ended up with a full count base hit to right. Ellsbury walked, and after the strikeout of Ross, he's ahead of James Loney, hopeful of stranding Pedroia and Ellsbury. Go back to that start a couple of years ago. It was May 10th at Fenway Park. He pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits, but 6 runs because he walked 6. And in that game, he threw 67 pitches. He wasn't close.
Didn't understand himself.
Line drive into center as Echeverria goes back and makes the catch. Morrow indeed gets out of it, but it took him 26 pitches. But he strands a couple on base. This season finale against the Red Sox. A couple changes in his lineup today. It'll be Laurie Rasmus, Aaron Seavey. JP's batting third. And Lennon Encarnacion is not available, nor is Yunel Escobar. Adam Lind is the cleanup batter. He's playing at first base. He has a 5-game hit streak. That's the longest active hit streak for Blue Jays. 7 for 16 with 3 doubles and a home run. Moises Sierra bats fifth. He's in right. Jan Gomes makes his first start since August 19th. He's the DH. Omar Vizquel is second. Adeiny Echeverria at shortstop. And Anthony Ghost is in left field.
Last time the Blue Jays saw John Lester back in July, he was going through a really rough patch. But since then, he is 4-1 with a no decision. He's still walking too many batters. Evidence last time out, 5 1/3 innings against the Yankees. He walked 7 batters. That was a career high. Looking for his 10th win of the season this afternoon. His ERA just under 5 a game. This has not been a very good year for John Lester.
Not at all. He had 5 strikeouts in that start against the Yankees. That pushed him past Bruce Hurst for the most strikeouts by a Boston Red Sox lefty. Brett Laurie has fond memories of John Lester back in July at the first pitch of the ball game out of the ballpark. And started a barrage against Lester.
Oh, it set the tone against him. We were talking about that in the opening, that fastball was just right in the middle of the plate. It was up, didn't have a whole lot on it. Lester has the ability to cut his fastball, sink his fastball. And that day, everything was straightened out.
John Lester is 9-11 for the season with a 4.99 ERA. This is his 30th start. See his numbers against the Blue Jays, pretty good. 11-6 with a very good ERA. That's 21 career starts. And if Boston is interested in moving John Lester, I'll raise my hand. He is 85-45 for his career. 40 games over 500.
Well, all he does is he gives you a chance to win every time he takes the mound. He was pitching for some great Red Sox teams, but it wasn't the run support that was helping him win games. It was great pitching. I mean dominant pitching. Once he learned how to command the cutter on the inside and the outside and be able to sink the ball on the inside and the outside, that's when he took off as a hitter, or excuse me, as a pitcher. Hitters had no chance against him.
2-2 pitch. Downstairs, it's a full count.
And I don't remember him walking so many batters, having so many pitches per outing and going deep into the game. In the past, before this season, it was, here it is, let me see how far you can hit it.
Laurie is late on that pitch and fouls it into the seats. John Lester made his big league debut in 2006 with the Red Sox. Made a total of 15 starts, a 7-2 record, and then he was diagnosed with cancer and was away from the ball club and had to deal with his health issues first. Or he hits it on the ground. Jose Iglesias throws in time, 1 down. Defensively behind John Lester, it's been a mix and match all season long for Bobby Valentine. Scott Podsednik, the veteran, is in left field. Ellsbury and Cody Ross center and right. Jose Iglesias has started 10 of his last 18 games at shortstop. Dustin Pedroia is the second. Siriac has done a nice job filling in all over. He's primarily a shortstop himself.
Very underrated player right there, Cody Ross. 98 starts now in the outfield. He has 1 error and 8 outfield assists. He picked up that 8th outfield assist right here just the other day. Very underrated player, I think.
Last year he was with the Giants and had a big World Series. Had a home run against the Texas Rangers in that World Series. During the league championship series, Cody Ross hit .350 against the Phillies.
I'm telling you, he's a guy who, when the lights are brightest or when you need that RBI, he's the guy who can come through for you. He's an underrated player.
Of course, I said last year it was in 2010 when he had the postseason run with the Giants. Kobe Rasmus fouls back a fastball. He's behind John Lester 1-2. Kobe's been one of the few bats that's been swinging it well lately. Last 8 games, he's gone 9 for 27 with a homer.
Found it again in Boston when the Red Sox were playing the Blue Jays.
Hits this ball into shallow right. Pedroia ranging to his left makes a good play. 2 down.
Well, he's a good player at second base, Pedroia. Lots of ground covering right there. Let's look at a scouting report for John Lester this afternoon. Fastball, he throws it 33% of the time. He'll sink it and he'll cut it. Although his cutter, he has cut that down this year in about half the percentage of cutters thrown this year. I think the curveball and the changeup are a good combination for him to go along with that good fastball.
J.P. Arancibia is 0 for 7 on this homestand. He is batting third this afternoon. We mentioned Edwin Encarnacion's unable to go today. He's got a bad foot. Yunel Escobar was originally in the lineup as well, and he has been scratched due to flu-like symptoms. Jeff Mathis was also scheduled to be in the lineup behind the plate this afternoon, but he was scratched.
Yeah, we got 3 different lineups already this morning for this afternoon's game.
He'll pop into center field. Ellsbury quickly in and makes the catch. That retires the side. Blue Jays go down in order against John Lester. We've played an inning at Rogers Center. It's a scoreless game. On sale. Purchase your 2013 Blue Jays season tickets by December 7th, 2012 and receive a $100 Blue Jays gift card, a Blue Jays Authentic Collection Premier Jacket, and a limited edition Jose Bautista bobblehead doll. Call the Blue Jays for your season tickets at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com. Order your Blue Jays season ticket for the 2013 season. Jared Saltalamacchia, 6th in the batting order. Saltalamacchia is tied for 2nd in the major leagues in home runs by a catcher. A.J. Pierzynski of the White Sox has 26. Willen Rosario and Saltalamacchia both have 24. The ball driven to left. Anthony Gose is back quickly. It makes a nice catch. 1 down.
This is what Brandon Morrow has done in his 4 starts since coming off the disabled list. The ERA is pretty good, but his whip is not very good. I think he's walking too many batters. Opponent's batting average up over 300. There's been that inconsistencies, and I guess you can come to expect that when you're out for as long as Brandon Morrow was out.
You notice his game score average is 49. That is the American League average game score for a starting pitcher. So I guess you could say Morrow has been average since he's been back.
He has been average.
But you know what? It's just like a hitter. We talked about Laurie and Aaron Sebia missing so much time in the middle of the season. I mean, Brandon Morrow's got to deal with the same thing. He has not built up his stamina, built up his touch and feel yet the way he did all the way through spring training.
Yeah, think about that. He had 6 weeks to get ready in spring training, game situations, the repetition, everything like that. Then you pitch for 2.5 months at the big league level, and you do really well. Then you've got to shut it down. Completely shut it down. The injury was such where he couldn't even do any throwing. He couldn't do any twisting. He said it hurt to even breathe when he was out on that mound when they were trying to take him off. Then you've got to ramp it back up and jump right back into a big league schedule. I think it's understandable that there can be some inconsistencies.
Ryan Lavarnway, the catcher, and Moises Sierra once again can't find the baseball. He has had problems out there in the outfield on bright days. We mentioned yesterday with the cloud cover it wasn't an issue, but boy, today again that bright sun baffling Moises Sierra.
Yeah, never even saw it. He tried to play it off to the side. I thought at some point that he would try and shade his eyes with his glove. You can see him right there looking straight up into the sun. Well, a lot of times what outfielders will do, they'll use their glove and kind of shade their eyes just a little bit. Brandon Morrow dejected after that fly ball should have been caught.
Yeah, absolutely should have been caught, and you've got to learn how to deal with it. I mean, it's like 5 now that he's misplayed out there because of the sun.
At least 5.
1 out. Pedro Siriaco and the go-ahead base hit in the 9th inning, a double. And he has really done a good job. Clutch hits have been big. He's had 3 game-winning RBIs in the 9th inning or later for the Red Sox.
He has come up with some clutch hits for the Red Sox already this season.
He has 18 RBIs in total. 6 of those 18 have given the Red Sox the lead. They've been go-ahead RBIs. And the clutch nature of his hits been pretty impressive. He's got the count in his favor. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out. Lavarnway at second base with the double.
Let me ask you something while we got a chance here. Because Sierra's had a lot of problems in right field, does it make sense to maybe flip-flop him with Anthony Gose? It doesn't seem like Gose has had too many problems in the outfield.
No, it sure hasn't. And this is the challenge of this field. Center field and right field, and especially right field, really has been challenging for defenders. And here's another one. They're going to have to converge on this one. Omar Vizquel shading his eyes from the sun, and he makes the catch. And that's what you were talking about with Sierra. Vizquel, the veteran, has the flip-down glasses. And then, too, he uses his hands to shield the sun to help him locate that baseball.
Have the glasses up, the old-fashioned glasses like that. You wait till the ball gets up, you throw down the glasses, you put your hand up to try and shield it, you play it off to the side, and you can see from that replay no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, those are different glasses than most of the younger players will wear. They may wear more just basic sunglasses, and you're always shaded. Vizquel will get the benefit of those flip-down glasses when the pop-up is in the sun.
There's an art to using those flip-down type of glasses.
You had a little situation with those early on.
You better hit the sunglasses, or your hat's going to go right in front of your face, like it happened to me. First time I tried to do it, I was in spring training with the Yankees. Tried to, you're supposed to hit the top of your hat, the bill of your hat, and the glasses flip down. Well, I hit it and it knocked my glasses and my hat right in front of my face. Got drilled by the pop-up.
Ball and a strike to Jose Iglesias. Iglesias really struggling with the bat. There's 2 for 26 with the Red Sox this year. Iglesias and Adeiny Echeverria were teammates on the Cuban national junior team. Iglesias played second base. Echeverria played shortstop. 1-2, 2 outs. In the dirt. And then Morrow's pitch count up to 40 already. 2 outs here in the second inning. Again, this is the touch and feel aspect of coming back off the disabled list.
His slider is good enough that he doesn't have to bounce it. He can throw it in there and make him try and hit it.
Or to throw the fastball on the outside corner. That's unhittable. 2 strikeouts for Morrow. He has had problems with base runners, but so far he has left them stranded. Red Sox have left 3 already. Every time Toronto hits a home run, you can win big. Audio, home theater systems, and big TVs, like an 80-inch Sharp Aqua Spectron. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Moises Sierra in the dugout, and you can see Kelly Johnson saying, try some of these, and maybe they're a little bit darker. Those are the flip down glasses, and they've got the little tab on the side that extends beyond the bill of your cap. So when you swipe at that bill of your cap, you can flip them down, and you can see he's testing them out. You got to try something different.
Yeah. What's good about those is you see the play when the glasses are up. The ball goes up into the sun. You flip them down, and you can pick the ball up a lot better, a lot easier.
Adam Lind drives this ball high and deep down the left field line. Podsednik in the corner, and it's into the seats.
Had a long talk today with Dwayne Murphy about Adam Lind and his stroke. He is starting to swing the bat a lot better recently. And it feels like he's getting through the ball a little bit better. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs since that DL trip for Lind.
Stays on that breaking ball. James Loney has a good glove at first. He flips to Lester for the out. 1 down.
Pulling the ball with a little bit more authority and getting the bat head out in front. He was getting beat by a lot of fastballs, but you don't see that over the last week or so.
He's got a 5-game hit streak. He's 7 for 17 now. Now Moises Sierra, one of Dwayne Murphy's young rookies that's got an awful lot of at-bats. Sierra getting his first look at John Lester.
So he takes that first pitch just to get an idea of his release point. It's so good for these young hitters to get up here and play and get an idea of the speed of the game at the major league level. And believe me, it's faster. It's faster than it is down in the minor leagues.
Outside, 2-1. Plus the fact that the quality of the pitches. I mean, every pitch is obviously major league quality. You're going to see a great breaking ball, a great changeup, fastballs that cut, fastballs that sink. And you can see the league has adjusted to Sierra. A 139 average over his last 13 games, and there's that fastball inside.
You know, and it's not just hitting where it's difficult. Young players, and you can ask them, and I've talked to some of them, fielding that the ball gets to you quicker. It's a little bit more consistently hit hard. They hit it a little bit further.
Ground ball to third. Siriaco has it in plenty of time. 2 down. Lester's retired 5 straight.
So until those young kids get up here and play and see the speed of the game and then have their ability catch up to it, it's a great teacher.
Boy, it sure is a good teacher, and if you have the right people, and if they are as talented as you think, they will make the adjustments.
Yep. The game will bring them up to its standards.
Now, if you've picked the wrong guys, they might get overwhelmed and never adjust. Jan Gomes, we mentioned he's making his first start since August 19th. He caught that day. This is his second time as the DH. Lester quickly ahead, 0-2.
Was just put in the lineup right before we got it going here this afternoon. He was out taking ground balls at first base. He was out taking ground balls at third base. He was catching in the bullpen. And all of a sudden saw his name in the lineup.
And John Lester makes quick work of Jan Gomes. First strikeout of the afternoon. Lester is set down 6 straight Blue Jays. Coming your way after the game. Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys head into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. As well, the Jets are in Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. The NFL on Sportsnet and City TV. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Moises Sierra is back in right field, and he's got some new glasses on. Maybe a little bit darker, but he's still got them flipped down to help with the glare here this afternoon. Scott Podsednik, the leadoff batter. Podsednik grounded to third base his first time up. Inside.
Really shading him the other way. They don't think that Podsednik is going to get around on Morrow's fastball. Look at where the shortstop Hechavarria and Laurie are playing, almost side by side.
When you have a veteran like Podsednik, you certainly have a lot of at-bats to base your defense on. And I think, too, when you have a guy like Podsednik that's a veteran, you can say, well, here's what he does. And against a hard thrower like Brandon Morrow, he's going to hit the ball the opposite way.
Right, they'll put the pitchers in categories. Right-handers, What does Podsedek do against left-handers? What does he do against hard throwers, against 95-mile-an-hour fastballs? And they will adjust accordingly and play their defense accordingly. And it says he's going to hit a ground ball to the left side.
Colby Rasmus backs up and makes the catch just in front of the warning track. One down. Brandon Morrow has started now for his third season. You look at how the numbers have improved each season. The strikeouts are down, but the whip is also very down in a respectable spot now.
Yeah, a lot of times that ball would be shooting all over the place. He'd end up walking so many people, having so many long innings, high pitch counts. The strikeouts are down. That's a good thing. Fewer pitches per inning, you go longer into the ball game. And I think that was very evident his last time out when he knew that he didn't have the power that he had before in his fastball, and he really used his changeup a little bit more effectively.
Dustin Pedroia takes one down and away. It's a ball and a strike. Pedroia had a single his first time up, poked it into right field. Pedroia missed 2 games. He was away from the Red Sox because of the birth of his second son. He was on the paternity list. Ball and a strike, one out. Tried to check, and it went too far. Pedroia's wife gave birth to their second son in Boston, and he was at the hospital. And when he left the hospital with his oldest son, he was listening to the Yankee-Boston Red Sox game, called his wife and says, "Honey, I think I can go to the park and pinch hit."
They're warming up a lefty.
Boone Logan's warming up. I think I'm going to stop by Fenway.
How'd that go over?
She told him to go home and put the other boy to bed.
So he never made it to Fenway Park that
how
night.
about that?
But that's him. That's all you need to know about that guy.
He said, "I was going by the ballpark and I heard him warming up Boone Logan, and I thought it'd be a good idea."
And stop in and get a pinch hit.
I tell you what, don't you love that? 2-2. Up and away, and he swats it foul. When Dustin Pedroia first came up with the Red Sox, Terry Francona was the manager, and he said, "Listen, I just want you to play defense. Don't worry about your hitting. Just go out there and give me a good effort every day." Well, he finished up the end of April hitting about 180. And Francona called him in and says, "Listen, I wasn't really that serious about this. You can hit a little bit, you know."
And he did.
Now, Ron Johnson was in the minor leagues and just kept telling Francona, Johnson was his AAA manager, said, "This guy can play, and this guy's going to be a winner. Just stick with him. Give him a chance." And sure enough, it's paid off. Now, Ron Johnson is the AAA manager for the Baltimore Orioles. And Buck Showalter raves about his evaluations and how he's been able to help the big club with some of the recommendations he's made of his AAA players.
Yeah, the pitchers. A lot of the pitchers that have been set up there.
Pedroia strikes out. Morrow gets the fastball by him. That's the third strikeout for Brandon Morrow.
Pedroia can hit that high pitch. We have seen him in the past take that ball deep, but he'll come up empty here. Looked like he might have taken a little something off that and really messed up the timing of Pedroia. It wasn't your typical four-seam fastball in the upper part of the strike zone.
Morrow handles Pedroia this time. Now he'll work to Jacoby Ellsbury. This is with that first pitch inside. Changeup. That's something that Morrow would never even think about early in his career. He was all about power. He was going to overpower everybody, but now he understands the value of varying speeds and making quality pitches and hitting your location.
And when he got in trouble, he'd ramp it up and try and throw harder, try and throw through it. Now when he gets into problems, he backs off, tries a little bit easier. Last game, first pitch strikes to 11 of the 24 batters he had. He realized in the first inning After throwing 27 pitches, I don't have my good fastball. Started going to the changeup a little bit more. That's what pitching is all about.
1-2. Ellsbury spoils that pitch. Even that pitch is a changeup. Ellsbury fouls it off, but now Ellsbury is geared back a little bit. Morrow can counteract that with a hard slider down and in, or a fastball upstairs.
That's right. Try and catch him on the inner half. See if we can freeze him with that fastball. Throw that slider. Think it inside. He had him set up for it, and he had the ball by him.
He just missed. 2-2. Broken bat, fly ball to right. Sierra at the warning track makes the catch. No problem with the sun there. Maybe the new grasses help. Morrow's out of the third. Bottom third for the Blue Jays. Omar Vizquel beat the Red Sox last time he faced him. Adeiny Echeverria and then Anthony Gose. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TV comfort zone are lucky fans enjoying a seat upgrade. Today was their lucky day, courtesy of TD. Omar Vizquel goes after the first pitch and fouls it straight back. We mentioned Vizquel. He had the game-winning sacrifice fly last Sunday at Fenway Park. He had 2 sac flies in the ballgame, and he was able to help the Blue Jays win. His sacrifice fly in the 9th inning scored Rajay Davis from third base. Earlier in the game, in the 4th, he had a sacrifice fly, and that Anthony Gose scored on a very shallow fly ball to left field at Fenway Park.
Well, let's put it this way. He had the 2 best guys at third base. Each time he picked up those RBIs.
It's smart hitting. It's a veteran.
That's smart hitting.
He's had 2,870 career hits. This is his final season in the major leagues. His 24th season. And it has been a Hall of Fame career for sure. There's a base hit. Could be extra bases. Vizquel is around first. He's headed for second. He is now 2 hits behind Babe Ruth.
That's amazing. He can still turn on an inside fastball. John Lester, you can see him dialing it inside at Omar. It's almost like he's got a 6th sense that he felt like he was going to come in there, and he drops the head of the bat on that baseball. and starts the third inning with an extra base hit.
454th career double for Omar Vizquel. Danny Echeverria. Opposite ends of the spectrum in experience for sure. And today they're teamed up the middle. Echeverria at short, Vizquel at second.
Omar thinks he's going to be really good too. I had a chance to chat with him very briefly this morning, and I asked him about Echeverria, what you think. He said his natural position is shortstop, and he's got a lot of tools and a lot of talent. He just needs some experience now.
We mentioned Echeverria and Jose Iglesias, the shortstop of the Red Sox, were teammates on the Cuban national junior team. Echeverria got the nod to play shortstop while Iglesias played second. On the ground, Vizquel will hold his ground. Iglesias throws to first. Lester got Echeverria to pull that ball to the shortstop, and that makes Vizquel stay put at second.
You know, those are the finer parts of the game that he will learn, that they'll try and jam him with fastballs like that, or throw off-speed pitches down and in to speed your bat up to keep the ball on the left side of the infield so Vizquel can't move up. He'll learn how to take that ball and inside out it to the right side.
Anthony Gose, left-handed batter against the left-hander John Lester. Vizquel with the leadoff double. At second base. Anthony Gose facing John Lester for the first time.
Was overmatched when he first came up here the first time and went back down to the minor leagues. And Wayne Murphy talks to Chad Mottola, AAA hitting coach, all the time, and he said now he's ready to change things over because he sees how fast the game is. And they went to work. They went to work redefining his swing and his stance. And now he's got a chance. He's got a chance to hit. He's got a chance to make contact and survive at the big league level. But it took that first time up here to see that he didn't have what it takes.
Well, you just don't understand what you're dealing with until you see it firsthand. Anthony Gose over his last 9 games has made some nice adjustments.
And striking out less, seeing the ball a little bit more. His on-base percentage is higher, slugging percentage is higher. But you're right, you're facing these guys for the first time, and you just don't know what you're in for.
On the ground, Pedroia has it. He'll go to first, and Gose is retired. Vizquel moves to third. There are 2 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
So Vizquel has moved to third after his leadoff double. Now Brett Laurie will try to come through with 2 outs. Goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Loney battling the sun makes the catch. The inning is over. The Blue Jays get a leadoff double from Omar Vizquel, but can't take advantage of it. John Lester strands one at third. a lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. Brett Lawrie batting with 2 outs and a runner at third base, goes after the first pitch from John Lester and pops up to first. But watch the reaction of the catcher. Lawrie slams the bat down, and the catcher, Ryan Lavarnway, evidently got hit by something in his eye, and he goes into the dugout and talks to the trainer about it. When he hit the bat on the ground, something flew up and caught Lavarnway in his right eye. Appears to be okay. Cody Ross struck out his first time up, goes after the first pitch and pops it over near the seats. Lynn gives it a look, but it's into the seats, out of play. Cody Ross looking at a fastball down and away. It was the first strikeout of the afternoon for Brandon Morrow. Staying with that pitch away, just trying to shoot it into right. He's late on it.
Yeah, stay away from his power. He's a free agent at the end of the year, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. He's expressed his desires to stay with the Red Sox. He's bounced around a lot in his career. Originally signed by the Tigers, came up to the big leagues in 2003, just 6 games with Detroit. Then he was traded to the Dodgers for left-handed pitcher Steve Coyer. That was in the 2004 season. Came up with the Dodgers and got a little cup of coffee in 05, once again in 06, before he was traded to Cincinnati. So he's bounced around. Yeah. He went from Cincinnati to Florida, where he spent the majority of his big league career.
Tore up his knee one year. Really hurt his development. And if he's a free agent, like you're saying, if a team is looking for a corner outfielder who can deliver in clutch situations and play good defense, there's your man right there.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He always gets discounted. Not a real physical presence.
Yeah.
And you look at him and say, well, yeah, okay. He won't turn 32 until December. So he'll play all in the year next year as a 32-year-old, right in the prime of his career. James Loney takes one down and in. Cody Ross with a leadoff single. Loney popped up to the shortstop to end the first inning. Aaron Seavey will go to the mound. All of a sudden, Morrow's lost the strike zone.
Wow, the last inning, he was beautiful. Strike out a couple of fly ball outs. Attack the strike zone. Now here a single and a walk. Or excuse me, a 3-0 count. 1 pitch from a walk. This is where he's going to have to get it back.
Yeah,
right
and
here.
this is all part of maturation, where you can make an adjustment. You throw 3 pitches up and away out of the strike zone, you got to come back and figure out how to get it back down in there. As he did right there. You can't expect the pitching coach to run to the mound every time you got a mechanical issue. You got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. All the great ones do it.
And every day is different. Every time you take that mound, you don't have the same feel every single time.
Fly ball into center. Colby Ross at medium depth. As Rasmus makes the catch, Ross returns to first base. Fans watch every out-of-market Blue Jay game live or on demand on your favorite device. MLB.TV Premium now also includes a free subscription to At-Bat 12. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Opportunity to take the game with you. Certainly a lot of great games coming up the rest of this month into the first week of October. And then the postseason, which promises to be very exciting with that extra wild card berth. Here at Saltalamacchia. Swing and a miss. Saltalamacchia's done a pretty good job for Boston. Obviously, this is the first year without Jason Varitek, and just kind of wonder what kind of impact that's had. Had there been all of the turmoil, had Varitek been still on the team?
Have they had turmoil over in Boston?
A little bit. There's a lowercase t.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's got a chance to play every day, and I think you're seeing why the Red Sox like him and why he has played for a couple of different teams. Atlanta and Texas, and now Boston Red Sox. A catcher with some power. 24 home runs from that spot. You mentioned only A.J. Pierzynski's only catcher in the American League to have more.
Yep, Saltalamacchia came up with the Braves, and he was one of their hottest prospects, a switch-hitting catcher. Had some big seasons in the minor leagues. In 2005, he hit 19 home runs and drove in 81 runs. Hit over 300. It's this ball on the line. That'll get down in front of Sierra. Rouse will stop at second. Saltalamacchia with a single to right. 2 singles in the inning.
That time a little bit weaker breaking ball. And then the first one he threw to Saltalamacchia. The first one swung right over the top of that one, just stayed in the middle of the plate.
I think that's the aspect of game calling for a catcher where you really have to pay attention. If you get away with a mediocre breaking ball, then you can't ask your pitcher to throw a better one. Chances are he's not going to throw one very well during that particular at bat, so you might just avoid it. Just go to another area.
Go to another area, maybe go to another pitch, and then come back to that spot.
Brian Lamarnway takes the first pitch strike. I mean, there's so many different aspects of the information you take as a catcher that you factor in when you're calling pitches. That's why I always used to laugh when I heard people say, well, you know, they're calling all the pitches from the bench. You know what? You can't call pitches from the bench. You can't really see where the pitches are. This is popped into right. Sierra with his hand up, shading his eyes. This time he makes the catch and gets that ball back into the infield. It is a battle out there. We're not trying to suggest it's an easy position to play, but that time he used his hand to help him out and shade that sun.
You know, and wouldn't you know it, you've got Brandon Morrow on the mound with some right-handed batters for the Red Sox, and where are they going to hit it? They're going to hit it to right field in the air. That time Sierra does a better job using that other hand to shade his eyes so he can keep his eye on that baseball and finish off the play.
Believe me, that is a helpless feeling when you look up into that sun and can't find that baseball.
Well, that first one, the Barnway hit. Same hitter hit that one. He hit it up in the air. Had no idea where it was.
Pedro Siriaco bats with 2 outs. Hard breaking ball is smothered by Aaron Sevilla.
One of the things that Brandon Morrow is going for him is his stuff is so good when he finds himself in trouble like he has in this game already. He's stranded 3 base runners and there's 2 more out there today. He's got one of the better batting averages against with runners in scoring position. He's in the top 10. Batters hitting just .218 off of him this year with runners in scoring position. And that speaks to his good stuff and his pitchability with that stuff. I'll take those kind of pitchers any day. because you're going to find yourself in trouble at some point in the season. Do you have the physical talent to get yourself out of it?
And the mental toughness to bear down and make quality pitches. Ball on the strike. Well, that's a good breaking ball. That's a strike to ball breaking ball. It starts out in the strike zone and then just disappears, and he got Siriaco to chase. Anybody can pitch when everything is working.
Yes.
Your real good pitchers, they pitch when they don't have a thing.
They find a way. They find a way to win a ball game when they don't have their A game.
1-2. Siriaco stays alive. So right now, after a couple of breaking balls, I'd run that fastball upstairs and see if you can't overpower him with it. He doesn't have a lot of power. A guy that you don't relate to being able to knock it out of the ballpark, but throw something up and away, you might swing right through it.
Yeah, the key to that phrase is up. You got to keep the ball up to him, maybe up and away. Down and be able to just drop the head of the bat on the ball.
Up and away, and he was late. Good spot by Morris.
And there's that ability by Brandon to ramp it up, like we were talking about in the scouting report. That fastball hit 97.
Well, I think too, Morrow has realized that if you pitch at 93, you will have that in reserve when you need it. In the past, he tried to pitch at 97. Ran out of gas.
Ran out of gas. Tough to do.
Now you want to have a resolution right here. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. You don't want to go to a full count and give them a running start. Siriaco popped up to second his first time up. There goes Cody Ross. The ball is popped down the right side. Lind into foul territory, battling the sun, and makes the catch. Red Sox started the runners, but Siriaco pops up to end it. Bottom of the fourth, it'll be Colby Erasmus, the number 3 hitter, J.P. Arancibia, Adam Lind. It's a scoreless game. Vera on the bench with Moises Sierra in a quick study of flipping the glasses down. And Rivera wants to explain to Sierra, you got to be able to see first, so you want to have the glasses up so you can see the baseball. And Then when that ball goes in the air, and you can see Omar Vizquel as well helping him say, listen, use your glove, get an idea where the ball is first, and then when that sun becomes an issue, flip those glasses down. Isn't that something that you should learn in the minor leagues, maybe?
Yeah, I would think that would be something you would learn in the minors. I would venture to guess, and I don't know this, I'll try and find it out. I wonder if they have flip glasses in the minor leagues. I mean, kids nowadays, they have all their glasses by the Oakley and whoever, as Podsednik makes that play. They have their own set of sunglasses. The team doesn't have to get them any.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think that the team would have supplies of flip-down glasses available, but every young player we see have the regular sunglasses that you might take to the beach with you.
Which they grew up on.
Yeah, and everybody's had them. And most of them wear them on the top of their hat and not on their eyes, which I've never figured out why.
Well, he's got his lesson, and he's been okay since he turned to the flip glasses.
JP Arencibia hitting third here this afternoon. No Encarnacion, no Escobar. Unfortunately, they're both out of the lineup today. JP hit a home run off John Lester back at Fenway Park at the end of July. This is popped up over near the seats. Loney has room, makes the catch. 2 down. Lester's doing a good job of tying up the right-handed hitters with that pitch on the inner half.
You know, and it's down today. The last time the Blue Jays faced Lester, it was through that rough patch that he was going through this season, and they really hit him hard. Everything was up. 4 home runs. He gave up 11 earned runs, which was a career high. 5 in the first inning. Today, everything is down. And that good movement moves just a little bit more when it's down in the strike zone.
Looked like he caught his spikes on the mound on that last pitch. A little bit of repair work on that landing spot. Adams wins average at 241.
That's the pitch that he has been hitting the last 10 days or so. That fastball that's right there.
Right back to Lester. Runner halfway over to first. The inning is over. Just 8 pitches for John Lester. We've played 4 innings here at Rogers Center. It's scoreless. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. wrap up the month of September. Thursday night, Friday night, then Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. For your Blue Jay Yankee tickets, call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. You can always log on to BlueJays.com to order your Yankee tickets, and it'll be the last chance this season to see the New York Yankees. Right now, the Tampa Bay Rays wish that they wouldn't see the New York Yankees. The Yankees have broken through with 5 runs in the bottom of the third. Russell Martin has hit a 3-run home run. Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez with RBIs. It's 5-0 New York.
And we get to see the Yankees
Tuesday night. Andy Pettitte will go to the mound in his return to the active roster. Yankees and Orioles, and the Orioles have seen way too much of the Oakland A's on that West Coast trip.
Well, that was the West Coast trip, or the trip that we thought will define the Baltimore Orioles this season. This is their biggest trip of, in the last decade or so.
Well, since 1997, when they had a winning season. Trips haven't really meant much in September to the Orioles until this September. They'll finish up with Oakland this afternoon, and then they'll head up to Seattle. Randy Wolf goes to the mound against Daniel Straley in Oakland later on today. It's a foul ball. Jose Iglesias jumped on that pitch and hit it hard, but well foul. Then the Orioles will go to Seattle. They play 3 in Seattle. Chris Tillman will start against Hector Noesi. Tillman, a former Mariner, going against his former team in the opener of that 3-game series. Poked into right. Sierra quickly in, makes a running catch. Iglesias is retired. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Not every ball hit into the outfield requires sunglasses. You can see that line drive well below top of the stadium, so Moises Sierra didn't need the sunglasses on that play.
Yeah, it wasn't hit high enough. Good job defending that time. They weren't playing very deep against Iglesias, and that helped Sierra to make that play. They're not playing very deep against Podsednik now either.
Podsednik's got 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. There you see the infield bunched at shortstop. And Podsednik shows bunt and has to bail out. It's a scoreless ball game. Podsednik has good speed, and he's a terrific bunter.
That's a bad feeling right there, where you're looking for a ball to bunt. Looked like he might be taking that one with him, and then it's got to duck out of the way.
On the ground. Vizquel waits on it and goes to first. 2 down. Blue Jays haven't had but 1 base runner. That was a leadoff double by Omar Vizquel. Other than that, John Muster has shut them down totally. Vizquel's leadoff double in the 3rd. He moved to 3rd, but was stranded there. Red Sox have stranded 5 base runners. Brandon Morrow's pitched out of a couple of sticky situations already.
And that is what has run his pitch count up. I mean, we're only in the 5th inning, and he's thrown twice as many pitches as John Lester.
2-0. Dustin Pedroia 1 for 2 so far. A single and a strikeout. Foul. I was sitting on the Red Sox dugout bench this morning with Pedroia, Iglesias, and Jared Saltalamacchia. We were talking about baseball and different guys around the game. And Pedroia looked up at the clock, and Iglesias still had his shorts on, and he said, "Go in and change. We're 10 minutes away from stretching." But that's the kind of leader he is. He's just one of those guys that always wants to be ready to go, ready to play, and wants his teammates to be the same way.
Do it right. If you're going to do it right.
He too was talking to Iglesias about hitting. He said, you know, you're going to learn how to be a good hitter. I just think you need to stand more upright so the pitchers don't have the ability to jam you. It was a great conversation. I mean, you've talked to Pedroia. I mean, you talk about getting him excited. All you get to do is talk a little baseball.
Would you classify him as a throwback?
He's just a good player. I mean, there are a lot of guys like Pedroia around the game. You know, you get them one-on-one and talk baseball. They get excited and they'll talk about a lot of different aspects of the game.
I think one of the best compliments you can give a player is he can play in any era of baseball. And I think that fits Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he would have loved taking train rides after ball games, going from city to city, traveling in the 50s, talking baseball. Morrow swipes at it. Echeverria near the bag. Look at that play. Woo! What a play by Echeverria. Quick reactions right near the bag. Could have got a tricky hop off the dirt, but he ends the inning for Brandon Morrow. Danny Echeverria, a young shortstop, makes a good play to throw out Pedroia. Contest on Facebook today. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Aquos. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. Scoreless ball game. Moises Sierra jumps on the first pitch and hits it foul. John Lester is so much different than the last time we saw him. He has given up 1 base hit, a double, and that's the only Blue Jay to reach base. Omar Vizquel with a leadoff double in the 3rd.
Got much better command. His last time out, 7 walks against the New York Yankees in 5 1/3 innings. Today it looks like he's trusting his stuff and he's saying, here's my fastball. Let's see what you can do with it.
Now, he's done a good job of keeping the ball down in the zone. 7 ground ball outs to this point for John Lester. Omar Vizquel's double was a sharp grounder inside the bag in 3rd. Went down the left field line. But Echeverria and Gose grounded out before Brett Lawrie popped up to end the inning. We mentioned Sierra got off to a good start. He had multi-hit games in 6 of his first 20 games this season. And then the pitchers started paying attention. And okay, well, looks like you can swing the bat. We're going to have to make some adjustments on you. And that's when you really find out how a young hitter is going to handle that. Can he make adjustments? Can he lay off those pitches? Can he get himself back to swinging at strengths?
Well, he can handle the breaking ball. The breaking ball within the strike zone. He can handle that.
Isn't that the exception for a young hitter?
Yes. Usually pitchers will throw you the fastball, see if you can hit that. And young kids usually, for the most part, they can handle that fastball, and they have trouble with the breaking ball. But Sierra, it's been a little bit opposite.
They take a leadoff walk from John Lester. Lester's had a little trouble with the mound on a couple of different occasions. Looked like he slipped on that last pitch. They mentioned the season series. The Blue Jays have the advantage, 10-7 over the Red Sox, 17 of 18 meetings so far. And if they will win the season series for the first time since 2006. Red Sox have dominated the Blue Jays, but this year the Blue Jays have pitched better than the Red Sox. They've hit better. They've hit more home runs, and they've scored more runs. And they enjoyed 2 series sweeps at Fenway. They won 6 straight, the last 6 they played in Boston. Yan Gomes bunts it, but foul. 163 average. Yan Gomes didn't know he was in the original lineup, or didn't know he was in the lineup to start this game until just a few minutes before the game. Jeff Mathis had been penciled in as the catcher, and CB was going to DH, but then Mathis had to be scratched.
There it is.
This is bunted back to Lester. He's got a shot at second and throws it into center. Sierra up, and now he's in no man's land. So now they bounce the ball. Sierra will get back to second, and oh man. Red Sox threw it around. Blue Jays base running again, a concern and a problem. As Sierra jumped to his feet, ran to third, and realized Ellsbury was right there in center. But then Siriaco got handcuffed at third, and all hands are safe.
The problem that we have seen from the Blue Jays base running recently is simple question: what can I do or can't do on the bases? There's no way that Sierra is going to be able to move up on that overthrow. You love the hustle, you love the determination, but you also have to understand, what is it possible? Ball bunted right back to the mound, and Lester gives him a gift by throwing it into center field.
And that's the problem there. You got a break by Lester making a mistake.
Don't help him out.
No, don't help him out. So the Blue Jays now have runners at second and first. Nobody out. Gomes with the sacrifice bunt. Omar Vizquel squares the bunt, takes the strike. Fielder's choice, air on the pitcher. No sacrifice bunt for Yan Gomes. Vizquel now trying to move the runners up again. And he bunts it off the catch here. It's 0-2.
Got to figure that you might not have a lot more opportunities the way that Lester has been throwing to capitalize on it. So they give you the opening on a bunt that could have been a double play. Throws it into center field. Now you got a chance to push across a couple of runs. Have to take advantage of it.
Would you have him bunt again?
I would. I have that much faith in Vizquel.
Swing it away and fouls it into the seats. Go back and look at the bunt, and it was a bunt right back to the pitcher. Lester just got excited about the prospects of this play.
And they had a chance to turn a double play. When he spins, he fires it in the center field. Now you're the runner at first base, and the outfielder, you can see him coming in. Your first reaction shouldn't be, I'm automatically going to third base.
Vizquel strikes out. So with runners at first and second, nobody out, Vizquel strikes out. As Lester comes inside with a pitch and picks up just his second strikeout of the afternoon.
Reaches back for a little something extra. Ball had a little movement on it right at the end.
So the rookie, Adeiny Echeverria, grounded to shortstop his first time up. Well, you can see Lester really buckling down now. He created this situation himself, and now he's determined to pitch out of it.
Reaching back for a little something extra.
When Lester first got to the big leagues, Jason Varitek was his catcher, and Lester always had the ability to throw pitches to the glove side, whether it was a fastball or a cutter, good breaking ball. And Varitek always felt that when he could command the arm side of the plate, the outside to the right-handed hitters, that's when he would really take off, and he has done that. And that's the arm side pitch right there.
Yeah, right there. It commanded with both the cutter and that good hard fastball. He could sink it just a little bit. And when he was able to do that, that's when his number just took off.
John Farrell always refers to it as making X's on both sides of the plate. By that he means you have pitches that go in opposite directions that you can throw on either corner. Back out of play. Echeverria has actually done a pretty good job of hitting with runners in scoring position. 6 for 17, a .353 average.
His at-bats are a lot better than when he first came up. You know, he'll strike out. There'll be times like that, but he's been grinding out at bats a little bit better.
Off-speed pitch he's out in front of and pulls it foul.
And I think that's just pitch awareness and having an idea of what the pitchers are trying to do to you. When he first came up, he was striking out a lot, and I think the game was too fast for him. Wayne Murphy thinks that both he and Gose and Sierra, the young hitters, are having better at bats, and eventually they're going to have success.
Another 1-2 pitch from Lester. There's that outside pitch, and Echeverria strikes out. So Lester, back-to-back strikeouts after he created a problem with his error.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Gorgeous afternoon here at Rogers Center. You can see Lake Ontario and a lot of activity on the lake. Blue Jays trying to create some activity on the bases here. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Anthony Gose. Anthony grounded out to second base back in the third. Two and 0. What a good pitch. Right on the outside corner. And he threw it down and away and gets back into the count at 2 balls and a strike.
That's the difference of the Lester this afternoon and the Lester we saw earlier this year in July. Pretty good 2-0 pitch.
LeVarn Waite asks for time. He's going to go to the mound before they deliver this next pitch. He just wants to make sure that he and John Lester are on the same page. John Lester this season has not performed that well with runners in scoring position. The league has hit .251 against him, which is a little bit high for a pitcher of his caliber.
Yeah, power pitcher. Has explained some of the higher earned run average and some of the higher numbers against him this year.
Iglesias goes to second. Pedroia is there, and Ghost hit it hard, but the Red Sox are out of the inning. John Lester with runners at first and second. Couple of strikeouts and a force out. We're still scoreless here at Rogers Center. Fan Appreciation Weekend, September 29th and 30th, when the New York Yankees are in town. Saturday, September 29th, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Junior Jays Fan Appreciation T-shirt. Sunday, September 30th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Fan Appreciation Player T-shirt, courtesy of Home Hardware. Players include Jose Bautista, Beth Flory, Casey Jansen, Edwin Encarnacion, J.P. Arancibia, and Colby Erasmus. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations to pick up your tickets for Fan Appreciation Weekend. Heck of a ball game, a scoreless game here as we enter the sixth inning. Colby Ellsbury takes a first pitch strike. Only been 5 hits in the game. Austin has 4. The Blue Jays have 1. Omar Vizquel with the only hit for the home team.
These are the kind of games when you've got 2 very good pitchers. Mistakes, an error, or you end up walking the guy. It sets it up for the inning, and then you've got to take advantage of it. Blue Jays had a chance that last inning.
That's exactly what you talked about. A leadoff walk and then an error by the pitcher. This is driven into left. Anthony Ghost coming in a few steps. Ellsbury's retired. 1 down in the 6th. But Cecil loosening up for the Blue Jays. Cecil got the final out of the 9th inning in yesterday's game. He walked Ellsbury, but then struck out Daniel Nava to end the inning.
And you say, okay, he's given up 4 hits. He's throwing a shutout. He's into the 6th inning. Why do you have a guy warming up in the bullpen? Unfortunately, he's coming close to 100 pitches.
And obviously, Blue Jays don't have much at stake here in September, and they want to make sure they don't abuse Brandon Morrow. Just coming back, he's thrown 102 pitches since coming off the disabled list. That's the most. That came in his 2nd start on the 31st of August. Cody Ross has got 1 for 2 off of Brandon Morrow, now he's hit that 100-pitch plateau.
Yeah, first couple of innings, it took him a while to get into the flow of the game. He had some strikeouts, he had some walks, some base runners, and that's what jumped that total up very quickly.
Quarter of those pitches came in the first inning. Popped up into shallow center field. Colby Erasmus coming over. Ghost is there, and once again, it's not that difficult to communicate. I know you're switching back and forth, but Colby Erasmus has to take charge. Got to be more vocal so those outfielders get out of your way.
I don't know if it's not loud enough. You see Ghost call for it, and now the priority is the center fielder. And Erasmus, a little bit taller with a little bit more of reach, ends up taking that one away from Ghost. But it's the center fielder's priority. He's the guy, and he's the guy who's got to call off the outfielder.
The line drive to left. Ghost coming in. That ball sinking quickly, and Loney is retired. Brandon Morrow saved some pitches that inning. He only needed 7 pitches in those 6. Anthony Ghost makes a nice running catch to end the inning. John Farrell had a few words with Brandon Morrow, and then he looked like he had a second thought about explaining himself tomorrow. Morrow's over 100 pitches, and you can see he's being congratulated for a job well done, so it looks like he's out of the game. So Blue Jays need to score a run right now and give Morrow a chance to win it. Has to be very pleased with his outing here today on the heels of his last start.
That last start by Morrow, he gave up 10 hits in that game, just the 3rd time in his career that he had given up 10 hits in a ball game. So yeah, 4-hit shutout through 6 innings, pretty good.
Red Laurie trying to get something going for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the inning. And obviously, Brandon Morrow talked about his success early this season as a result of a very strong finish in September a year ago. And he'd like to replicate last year with a good finish here and get him prepared for the offseason and start him thinking about next year.
Brett's been late a lot on fastballs. He's been looping his bat a little bit. He's been hitting a lot of balls to right field. He's got to get that thing started a little bit sooner. Hit that ball out in front.
High fastball. Lester strikes him out. John Lester, all of a sudden the strikeout pitch becoming a factor. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced.
Reaching back up and out of the strike zone with that one. little bit too anxious to get something started.
Colby Rasmus, 0 for 2. Remember, the Blue Jays have just one hit, so there are a lot of 0-fers in this lineup. High fly ball to left, but it's an easy play for Podsednik. 2 quick outs for Lester here in the bottom of the 6th. This is more like the Blue Jays are used to seeing with John Lester on the mound. We mentioned he has 11 career wins against Boston. Against the Blue Jays. The exception was the last start at Fenway. He gave up a career high 4 home runs and 11 earned runs.
Usually you see a lot of power coming out of that arm from Lester like we see this afternoon. That day, not a lot there.
J. Pierre and Sebia.
He's kept the ball away from the right-handed power hitters very nicely. Aaron Sebia hasn't seen a pitch on the inner half. Brett Lawrie hasn't seen a pitch on the inner half.
Do you change your approach as you get deeper and deeper into a scoreless game, avoiding the power side of the plate?
You could if you feel good about your command, so you don't make that mistake. Well, I say if everything is working the way it is, stay right there.
Yeah, why would you change after dominating the hitters?
If you feel well enough to keep the ball away, if your command feels that good, if you get into the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, I'd stay away from guys.
It just makes sense. The percentages of a right-handed hitter hitting a pitch down and away out of the ballpark are much in your favor if you're a pitcher.
Not a lot of guys who can do that.
Well, Lester's got it working now. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Back-to-back innings with a pair of strikeouts. John Lester has punched out 5. We'll go to the 7th. It's still scoreless. Back-to-back home runs to end the ball game last night. Billy Butler and then Sal Perez. Back-to-back walk-off home run for Perez as they beat the Angels last night. Brett Cecil makes his 14th appearance of the season. We mentioned he worked in the game yesterday. He struck out a batter. He walked 1, struck out 1 as he finished up the 9th inning in relief of Steve Delabar.
Showing a little bit more power with that fastball since he's been moved into that bullpen. Lifty's hitting just 209 against Cecil this season. And he will pick up from Brandon Morrow. Here is Brandon's pitching line this afternoon.
Very good outing for Morrow. 102 pitches. Remember, he threw 26 pitches in the first inning. His game score 66. Remember, the American League average for starting pitchers, the game score is 49. So he had a good outing today. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and no runs allowed. Let's see. So jumps ahead of Jared Saltalamacchia. Saltalamacchia batting right-handed for a first time this afternoon. He's a switch hitter. They were 1 for 2 against Brandon Moore. Foul ball. Just outside of third. Saltalamacchia, switch hitting catcher, came over to the Red Sox in a deal from Texas. Brandon Lyon starting to loosen up. Downstairs, 1-2.
Oh, another pitcher with some problems on the mound. Saw Lester fall a couple of times. That time, Brett Cecil did look like he lost his footing right when he landed. Right there, you're right. That ball really took off.
Yeah, that front foot slid as it hit that landing area. Generally, it's so much clay there that those spikes catch. That wasn't the case on that last pitch. Tell you what, you do that a couple of times as a pitcher and you start to have some apprehension about landing on that front foot.
Start thinking about it.
Saw Lester messing with that mound a couple of times this afternoon. Looked like he stumbled and slipped a bit. And they're both left-handed, probably landing in that same spot.
Yeah, both of them left-handed. Morrow didn't have any problem with it.
Off-speed pitch, Saltalamacchia strikes out. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. So Brett Cecil gets his man. They flip Jared Saltalamacchia around to have him bat right-handed. He strikes out. Brandon Lyon sprinting in from the bullpen. It's a scoreless game. 1 out, top of the 7th. Season. He has been a terrific acquisition by the Blue Jays. He was originally drafted and brought to the big leagues by the Blue Jays. Pitched for Boston in 2003 after the Blue Jays, for some reason, put him on waivers, and then he was claimed by the Red Sox.
That was a mistake because he has pitched a long time in the big leagues. There are his numbers in 58 games this year with Houston and Toronto, and when he came over to the Blue Jays, he even stepped it up even further. 25 strikeouts and just 4 walks in 19 2/3 innings as a Blue Jay. He is all over that strike zone. He has pounded it since he's come over here.
Gets ahead of Ryan Lavarnway. They pitch down and away. Lavarnway had a 4 RBI night here on Friday night. A 3-run home run and a sac fly. Tough to hit those pitches down and away, both of them in good spots.
He's basically, he was telling me when we were in Boston, when he turned into a reliever, it was basically cutter curveball. And he would use that pitch. He'd mix in a fastball every now and then. But now he can sink the ball a little bit more. He can use his fastball.
Fly ball into center should be an easy play for Rasmus. It is. 2 down as Lavarnway flies in.
And his numbers have been great.
Brandon Lyon is a free agent at the end of this season. Well, he'd be a nice little anchor to have in that bullpen for the Blue Jays if they could work something out and bring him back. There's some doubts as to whether or not Darren Oliver will come back. Blue Jays have an option on Oliver's contract, but at 41 years old, probably thinking about packing it in. Chiriaco chases that first pitch breaking ball. Darren Oliver is a terrific character guy, and he has really pitched well this year. Alex Anthopoulos, the general manager, has some decisions to be made at the end of the season.
Big decisions on a lot of players. The direction of this ball club.
Chiriaco, a little looper. That's going to drop for a base hit. Chiriaco's been a good clutch hitter for the Red Sox ever since he joined the big club. He had the game-winning RBI against Steve Delabare in yesterday's game. A 2-out double. The difference in the ball game. The Red Sox won 3-2.
And with him over there at first base, threat to steal.
13 for 13 for Chiriaco. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop. Chiriaco, the second most successful attempts to begin a player's first season with the Red Sox since Julio Lugo stole 20 straight. Inside. You just have to assume that at some point Chiriaco is going to take off for second.
The Jays are going to give Iglesias a chance. They're going to throw fastballs. That's one way to shut down the running game is throw strikes, quality strikes.
Simply because you're ahead and you eliminate the number of pitches that a base runner can get a read on. Not a real good move there, just kind of a courtesy call. And Brandon Lyon has a better move than that. A little quicker. We mentioned Chiriaco is yet to be caught. 13 for 13. There he goes. Iglesias fouls it off. Chiriaco had a good jump.
Yeah. And he picked on a good pitch. He gets right with the Blue Jays that the Blue Jays were going to throw a slider, and that's what Morrow did. It takes a little bit more time to get to the plate. And he got a good jump, but Iglesias fouls it off.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Chiriaco on the move, pitches down, and he will steal it. Uncontested as that breaking ball. Aaron Seavey had to make sure he went down and blocked it, and Chiriaco picks up his 14th straight steal.
Again, another good pitch to run on. Breaking ball. And blocked by Aaron Seavey, so he couldn't do both. He couldn't catch that ball and try to get the runner at second base. So he just kept it in front of him.
That's a little interesting move right here. Jose Iglesias with a 2-2 count is lifted in favor of a pinch hitter. Daniel Nava, a switch hitter, who has played in both of these games. Nava started in both games. Comes off the bench with a 2-2 count.
Well, he also waited for Chiriaco to get in the scoring position. And he's playing the percentages, although he only gets one shot at it. But as soon as Chiriaco stole second, got himself in the scoring position, now he's going to have a bat up there and take his shot right here.
You have to believe that Nava was on the alert. He was ready, I'm sure, in the dugout, and Valentine probably told him ahead of time, hey, if he gets to second base, you're going to hit him. So Nava comes up to the plate. You got to believe that he's swinging on the first pitch. He's 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter this season.
Don't throw him a fastball then. Throw him an off-speed pitch.
Interesting move by Valentine, but you could really justify it. Nava played the first 2 games of this series. 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. Goes after the first pitch, a breaking ball. Lyon gets him out. So the pinch hitter gets 1 pitch, and the inning is over. Brandon Lyon does a good job. Nava is retired. We will go to the bottom of the 7th. Still a scoreless game. Last Junior Jays Saturday of the season will take place September 29th when the Blue Jays and Yankees hook up. It's a 107 start. There's special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. So for tickets to the final Junior Jays Saturday of the season, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. You can always log on to BlueJays.com to pick up your tickets or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Junior Jays Saturday. Mike Aviles comes on to play defense in the bottom of the 7th. Jose Iglesias was lifted for the pinch hitter Daniel Nava. Adam Lynn grounded back to the pitcher twice. High and deep to left field. Podsednik has room, calls for it, and makes the catch in front of the scoreboard.
Boy, he just missed that one. Lester has been pumping fastballs at him this afternoon, and it was just a little bit up for Lynn to get it. Couldn't get on top of that one.
Got a good hack at it and just up a little bit. Moises Sierra. He has grounded out and walked. He walked to start the 5th inning. That's when the Blue Jays had their second threat to score. John Lester contributing to that effort. He made an error. Blue Jays had runners at first and second, nobody out. Lester then struck out Vizquel, struck out Echeverria, and got Anthony Ghost to hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard by Ghost too. Almost squeaked through the left side of the infield.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Quite a pitcher's duel here this afternoon, and we thought it might be, given the way both pitchers had struggled in their last outing. Brandon Morrow, 6 strong innings of shutout ball. He allowed just 4 hits, and John Lester working in the 7th on a 1-hitter.
And both of them coming back here and just filling up that strike zone with quality pitches. Lester has struck out 4 of the last 7 batters that he has faced. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes along.
Inside corner, strike 3.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
John Lester has worked outside most of the afternoon, and right here he crosses up. Moises Sierra catches the inside corner for his 6th strikeout of the day.
Really got on top of that baseball.
Yan Gomes jumps on the first pitch and rips it into center. Rajay Davis is available. He's got the speed. Gomes in that DH role in the scoreless game.
They're looking into the dugout. They're looking for Rajay. There he is.
Rajay will put that protective mitt on his left hand and go out to first base. Gomes does his job. He gets aboard with a 2-out single. He'll turn things over to the pinch runner, Rajay Davis. And Davis obviously is a threat to run. Corey Lavello talking about John Lester, reminding Rajay Davis of Lester's move. Rajay 43 steals on the season. Big aggressive lead. Vizquel fakes a bunt. Base runners against Lester have stolen 11 of 14. Vizquel at the plate knows he's got to give Davis an opportunity to get into scoring position.
Yeah, throw that bat in front of the catcher. Disrupt them as much as you can.
There goes Rajay, and the ball is dropped by Lavarnway. Boy, that speed serves the Blue Jays very well. The go-ahead runs in scoring position. Stolen base number 44 for Davis.
You see Vizquel, how he shows that bat in front of Lavarnway. Maybe they blink a little bit. It makes it tough to catch that ball. Aids that in that stolen base for Davis is 44. And there's no guarantee he's going to be sitting out there at second base.
Davis is 1 behind Mike Trout for the American League lead.
Middle infielder way off of second base.
There he goes. Vizquel fouls it back. Davis had a huge jump at second, and Vizquel tried to poke it into the outfield.
Yeah, they're not worried right now about Rajay Davis at second base. Both Mike Aviles and Dustin Pedroia out in the outfield.
There goes Davis again. Base hit up the middle. Rogers around third. He's going to score. How about Omar Vizquel? Vizquel beat the Red Sox in Fenway with a sac fly, and here he has knocked in the first run of the ball game with his second base hit off of John Lester.
Just make sure you get the barrel of the bat out in front, and that's exactly what Omar does. 2-1 pitch. You don't want to get beat by the fastball. Watch Omar just take the barrel and just throw it right at the baseball. It's in a good spot, softly in the center field. We've got a multi-hit game this afternoon.
Yan Gomes with a 2-out single. Rajai Davis, the pinch runner, stole second and scores on the second hit of the afternoon by Omar Vizquel. High and deep to left, Echeverria, home run.
We have been talking about his hands and how quick his hands are and how quick his bat is. Well, this is going to be proof right here. Fastball in the inner half, and he drops the barrel of the bat on the baseball. And watch it this one. Second deck. Left field, no doubt about it. The only question was it going to stay fair or go foul.
Anthony Gose. All of this happened with 2 outs. The Las Vegas connection. Yan Gomes, a 2-out single, keeps the inning alive. And then the veteran Vizquel knocks in the first run, and just for good measure, the rookie Adeiny Echeverria, a long home run. Gose takes a strike. Daniel Bard quickly loosening up for the Red Sox. John Lester came into this inning and recorded the first 2 outs, holding the Blue Jays to 1 hit. Then Gomes had a single. Vizquel had a single, and Echeverria with his second big league home run. How about the experience factor? Vizquel playing in his 2,963rd game, 28th game for Echeverria.
Yeah, I like how Omar throwing that bat in front of the catcher to let Rajai Davis get into scoring position and then just knock the ball into center field. Then he can trot around the bases because of the youngster hitting that home run.
Two. Gose misses. It goes back to the screen. Gose can run. And Lavarnway makes a strong throw to gun down Anthony Gose at first. The inning is over. But the excitement came with 2 outs. Omar Vizquel with Rajai Davis at second base gives the Blue Jays a lead, a 1-0 lead. And then right after that, how about a 2-run home run? Adeiny Echeverria, number 2 in his big league career. Escobar had the flu. He was scratched, and Vizquel got to start at second. This is his second hit of the afternoon. The RBI single drives in the first run of the ball game. And Ricky Romero has retrieved the baseball from that second hit as well. Every hit now is a milestone as Vizquel will keep that baseball, because each hit he gets closer and closer to baseball icons. Babe Ruth now is just one hit in front of Omar Vizquel, 41st on the list. Pete Rose, the all-time hits leader, but look at Omar Vizquel and Babe Ruth in the same sentence.
You know what? For years we have been talking about his fielding excellence, but now we got to start talking about his hitting. He's going to finish up close to 2,900 hits in his big league career.
John Lester disappointed after taking a one-hitter into the seventh with 2 outs. Yan Gomes kept it alive. Vizquel delivers, and then the home run by Echeverria. Now the veteran Darren Oliver comes in to start the game.
A couple of lefties scheduled for this inning, and Oliver's into the ball game, so Bobby Valentine goes to his bench.
Mario Gomez will pinch hit for Scott Podsednik. Gomez started on Friday and had a big night. Reached base 4 times in 5 plate appearances. Had a single and a double. Drove in 2 runs in the 9th inning with a double. Scored 3 runs. Had a big night overall. Darren Oliver in relief of Brandon Lyon. Lyon is the pitcher of record. Gomez is 5 for 10 against the Blue Jays this season. Echeverria, the shortstop, makes the catch. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Philadelphia went down to Houston with a 4-game series. The Astros have won 2 of the first 3 games, and now they're in a tie game with Doc Holliday on the mound. I told you before the start of this series, I said, well, the Phillies got the chance to win 4 straight in Houston, and they must have had the same feelings, because they should have beat Houston 4 times. I mean, they were closing ground quickly on that wild card position, and now they've lost some momentum.
That's why they play those games. That was a sweep that's waiting to happen, wasn't it? You thought it. I thought it.
Boy, I tell you what, just sure looked like it. Everybody was playing in the Phillies' hands as well. The rest of the wild card teams were backing up. Dustin Pedroia bounces it over the mound. Vizquel quickly. Not in time. Pedroia beats it up. Dustin Pedroia, with everything he had, stumbled across the bag at first, but beats the throw from Vizquel. His second hit of the afternoon.
Backhands it. Throws it with everything he has. If that ball was a little bit straighter, thrown to first base where Lynn can stretch out to the ball, he's got to stretch toward home plate. It gives Pedroia that chance to leg it out.
Kobe Ellsbury. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Now he's got a base hit. That's going to drop in right field. Pedroia is headed around second. He'll go to third. Sierra throws the ball back into the infield. And the Red Sox have something going with 1 out here in the 8th. Darren Oliver worked on Friday night. The Red Sox got to him. He was charged with a run. He gave up a base hit to Ellsbury in the 9th, and Ellsbury would come in to score. That run was charged to Darren Oliver. He was the losing pitcher in that game on Friday night. So now Cody Ross steps in, and he represents the tying run. Up the middle. Echeverria will go to the bag for one. That's the first double play. So the threat is erased. Oliver gets the ground ball off the bat of Cody Ross. Echeverria turns the double play. Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Romo and the Dallas Cowboys headed into Seattle to take on the Seahawks as well. The Jets are in Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. The NFL on Sportsnet and City TV today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. New pitcher for Boston will be Daniel Bard, the right-hander. Bard started out as a starter in his rotation. He is back in the bullpen and back in the big leagues.
Prior to 2012, he made 192 appearances out of the bullpen. He also set club single records for holds the last couple of years, 32 and 34. Boston thought that they could make him into a starter. The transition hasn't gone very smoothly. 5-6, 559 earned run average. He's also walked as many as he has struck out this year.
Ryan Kalish takes over defensively in left field. Podsednik was lifted for a pinch hitter, and now Kalish takes over. Brett Laurie goes after the first pitch and drills it down the left field line. That is a fair ball and the double. Laurie jumps on Bard's first pitch and starts it off with a leadoff double.
Well, that's what you're looking for from your leadoff batter when the first reliever comes in there. Jump on that first fastball. Everybody knows Bard's got a great arm. If he misses his spot, get the head out and see how far you can hit it. Laurie hits an extra base hit down the left field. That's a good looking swing there.
23rd double of the season is a leadoff double. Rasmus now will try to at least advance Laurie to third, maybe drive him in. There's a line drive base hit to left. Ball bounces off of Kalish's glove. Laurie's in to score. Rasmus headed for second. And he'll get there. Ryan Kalish, just into the ball game as a defensive replacement, will be charged with an error. It's a base hit for Rasmus. No RBI on the play as Laurie comes in to score on the error charge to Ryan Kalish.
Ball will find you when you come into the ball game. Bumps it in front of him, and it takes a weird hop. You see the English that was on that ball skips away from him. And allow Laurie to score from second base. He was thinking about it and then slowed down at third base, picked up his coach, and then posts in with the fourth run of the afternoon. That inside-out swing right there by Rasmus creates a lot of English on the baseball when it hits this turf. If you're not used to playing on this turf, it can drive you crazy.
Especially in day games where it's a little bit warmer and it becomes a little bouncier, and it bounced right to the glove side of Ryan Kalish, kicked off his glove, and Laurie comes in to score. big insurance run for the Blue Jays. It's now 4-0. J. Pierre Ncibia inside. Randy Neiman, the pitching coach, after to have a short meeting with Daniel Bard. Way outside. Bard's not close.
Yeah, that's been the problem right there. Finding the strike zone. Casey Jansen up with a 3-run lead in a safe situation, and Blue Jays score another run. You get him up, you got to bring him in.
Yeah, off day tomorrow. He hadn't pitched a lot lately, so I'm sure he'll come in to work tonight. And Ncibia takes a 4-pitch walk. John Lester with a good start here this afternoon, but he's on the hook for the loss. 7 innings, 4 hits, and he went into the 7th inning with 2 outs, allowing just 1 hit. But John Gomes got a base hit, then Vizquel drove in the first run, and then Echeverria with a 2-run home run. So Daniel Bard doesn't get an out. Double, single, and a walk, and he'll turn things over to the left-hander, Andrew Miller. Live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Gorgeous day at Center Island as the ferry is just pulling in. Summer is coming to an end. Cool little fall morning and afternoon here. Andrew Miller, the left-hander, will come on in relief of Daniel Bard, who didn't record an out.
Miller, the tall left-hander for the Boston Red Sox, has put up some good numbers. 3-1 with a 332 earned run average. Lefties just at 136, which is the second lowest mark in the American League. He does it with a good fastball and a whipping slider that he'll use for a strikeout pitch versus lefties.
Bobby Rasmus at second base. J. Pierre Ncibia at first. Still nobody out. Adam Lind. Fastball on the outside corner. Rasmus indeed is credited with an RBI. He moved to second base on the ear by Ryan Kalish. So for Rasmus, his 73rd ribby of the season.
Yeah, you can't assume that he was going to throw him out at the plate. And if you're going to charge him in air, you got to charge the air on him going from first to second, because it was a clear single.
And ball bounced up to Kalish's right. He tipped it with his glove, and Laurie scored. Rasmus ended up at second.
Any way you look at it, it's a tough error. It's a tough one.
Off the end of the bat, Pedroia comes after it. He'll go to second for one, and they have no chance for two. Michabelis thought about a return throw, but it wasn't hit hard enough. They'll keep the double play in order.
Good job by J. Pierre Sevilla to stop. He was the runner at first base, stopping so they can't tag him and then continue on to first base for the double play. Blue Jays have a chance to add on here.
So Bobby Valentine has a deep bullpen, and he's going to go to the right-hander to match up against Moises Sierra. Scott Atchison into the game. Still just one out. Up against the New York Yankees. The Blue Jays will be in New York Tuesday night. Pre-game show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Andy Pettitte goes to the mound for the New York Yankees. They'll be opposed by Ricky Romero, first of three from New York. Scott Atchison making his first appearance since July 13th. He's on the DL, and he was activated prior to Wednesday's game, but this is his first game back. First pitch strike to Moises Sierra. Base hit up the middle. Rasmus is in to score. Lynn stops at second as Sierra picks up the RBI. His 10th ribby of the season. 5-0 Jays.
Up to 7 hits now for Toronto, as Sierra's going to pick up the hit. That breaking ball hangs over the middle of the plate, sends it right back where it came from. They've now had 6 hits in the last 2 innings.
Rajai Davis batting in the DH spot. He came into the game as a pinch runner for Yan Gomes. Davis stole second and scored the first run of the ball game on Omar Vizquel's RBI single. Bouncing ball. Siriaco to second for one. No return throw as Sierra is all over the second baseman Pedroia. Ball wasn't that sharply hit, and chances of turning 2 with Davis running were very small.
Dustin Pedroia knew that. He was going to try and beat the base runner at third base. Lynn, watch him around the bag, fake like he's going to throw, and then look to see if that runner is rounding third base a little bit too far. Robbie Alomar was the master at that. You got to think about that play before it happens.
Omar Vizquel, a 2-hit day. He has a go-ahead RBI. Broke a scoreless tie with a single with 2 outs in the 7th. 1 hit away from tying Babe Ruth on the all-time hits leaderboard. That's right, the Babe Ruth.
That's amazing. I asked him about that one day, maybe a month ago. I said, you know, you're X amount of hits away from Babe Ruth, and he had no idea. He does now.
I mean, just think about that. One of the true baseball icons, Babe Ruth, and Omar Vizquel is a hit away from tying him for the all-time hits spot. Bouncing ball. Loney will go to the bag, and Vizquel will have to wait another day to tie Babe Ruth. But the Blue Jays get 2 more runs of insurance. It's 5-0 as they head to the ninth. Casey Jansen on, trying to close things out. Casey Jansen pitched in the 9th inning on Friday night. Came in after Kobe Ellsbury got a leadoff hit off Aaron Oliver. Jansen would work an inning, give up 2 hits and 2 earned runs. He's into this ball game trying to close it out. No save on the line. The Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead.
He has had some opportunities for saves where he got up and looked like it was a safe situation, and the offense scored some runs, and then he has to pitch in a non-safe situation. Last time he saved a game was a week ago. And that was at Boston. Remember that getaway game? That was his last save. But what a year it's been.
Casey Jansen will face James Loney to start the inning off. Loney is late on that fastball. Blue Jays can hold on to this 5-0 lead. They will finish up the season 11-7 against Boston, winning the first season series against the Red Sox since 2006. Jansen ahead, 1-2. Bouncing ball, Brett Lorry at shortstop. In time, Loney's retired, 1 down. We mentioned Blue Jays and the Yankees will start a 3-game series on Tuesday night. It'll be Ricky Romero up against Andy Pettit. Pettit returning from a broken ankle. will make his first start. Then Henderson Alvarez against Phil Hughes on Wednesday, and Aaron Laffey against C.C. Sabathia. And the Yankees, they have had a tough go of it. Sabathia really has been a puzzle for the Yankees. He's not thrown the ball well of late. Today, New York leads Tampa Bay 6-4, bottom of the 7th.
He's lost some velocity on his fastball, and I think that's been some of the problems for Sabathia. We will watch, get a chance to see it firsthand next week.
Ed Saltalamacchia quickly behind 0-2. Casey Jansen, as he always does, works quickly.
You know, if there's one thing that this season has brought out, it's brought out that Casey Jansen can close game. A reliable closer, a leader on this ball club. I remember talking to somebody early in the year when the Blue Jays were having trouble with their closer, Santos, Cordero. They were trying to find somebody, and somebody suggested, what about Casey Jansen? And I'm like, well, I never thought about that. But if you break it down, he throws strikes. He's got a wide assortment of pitches that he can get you out with, and he's got very good control, so why not?
Jansen, a former starter, and he had shoulder problems, has come back out of the bullpen, has pitched very well. He gets a curveball in there for a strike, and Saltalamacchia is retired. And that young man is having a good day at the ball game, his first Blue Jay game, and it looks like he's going to watch a winner. 2 outs. Brian Lavarnway has a Blue double, Sun-aided double in his first at bat. He's got 1 for 3.
You know what else he has, and this is probably the most important thing, he's got the makeup to be a closer. Once that ball in tight situations and he doesn't succumb to the pressure.
This should do it. Moises Sierra backs up. The game is over. Blue Jays win it. They win it 5-0. Brandon Lyon is a winning pitcher. A heck of a pitcher's duel. Rajay Davis scored the first run on the RBI single by Omar Vizquel. Vizquel with the game-winning RBI. And how about Adeiny Echeverria? A 2-run home run right after the Vizquel RBI to make it a 3-run inning. The Blue Jays win the finale 5-0.
You know what we've had a chance to do on this homestand is we had a chance to watch some of the young players. John Lester's on the mound, and John Farrell goes with Anthony Gose in left field, left on left, and he held his own. Moises Sierra comes up with a big base hit. Adeiny Echeverria gets a start against a very good pitcher, and he produces. So these young players starting to get their feet wet at the big league level.
Blue Jays will enjoy the off day tomorrow. Pick it up on Tuesday night. We'll be there for all the action from New York. Stay tuned. Blue Jays Central coming right up. Here's Jamie and Greg.